really only one thing you can do with your law degree. Be a lawyer. And I know that that sounds kind of ridiculous coming from a former lawyer, but I want you to stick around, watch this video to see why I think that lawyers can do anything and why you need to practice law after law school. Welcome back. If you're new to this channel, I'm Annie Little. I'm an ICF certified career coach, and I made this channel for lawyers who want to find their ideal job, advocate for themselves at work, and enjoy a life of flexibility and freedom. Remember how everyone told you you can do anything with a law degree? Yeah, you can't. Well, at least not at first. And I say that because the value of your law degree comes from the experience you get by practicing law. The value doesn't just come from the expensive piece of paper. So before you can reasonably expect non-legal employers to give you an opportunity, you have really got to put that law degree to work. So at the beginning, I said that you need to practice law if you go to law school, okay? You know why? That's how you get the value out of your law degree. But unfortunately, you don't really know if you're going to like practicing law until you actually do it. And because you can't really know until you do it, it's perfectly reasonable that your expectations about what the practice of law might look like for you don't match reality. Maybe you hate it, but being that you're a lawyer, of course, it's really difficult to accept this reality that of course you couldn't know what it's like to be a lawyer until you actually practiced. And instead you might feel like, oh, I made a mistake. Like, what's wrong with me? Why didn't I know this sooner? But here's the thing. Nobody graduates from law school already knowing what it's going to be like to be a lawyer. Unless you know of some lawyer who went back to law school, then they might have some idea. So hopefully you feel a little better about that. But I would be remiss if I didn't also bring up lawyers' biggest fear, that maybe they went to law school and they're not actually going to use their law degree and practice law. But what if I told you that you already use your law degree in everything you do? And I want you to think back to law school orientation, because from what I understand, everybody got this talk. And what they say to us is, law school is going to forever change your brain, and you will never think the same again, and your friends and your family are going to recognize a huge change in you, and they're not going to understand what you're talking about. Also, they're not really going to care, right? I'll give it to them in this one instance. They were right. They were right. Law school totally transformed the way we think, and also forever ruined us from ever enjoying any kind of legal drama or comedy ever again. So established, you're going to use your law degree no matter what. So instead of asking yourself the question, what can I do with my law degree? Instead, what I would love for you to ask yourself is, what kind of work do I want to do regardless of whether or not I use my law degree? I say that because I want it to be very clear that my goal isn't for you to leave the law in your rearview mirror if that's not what's best for you, and that's not what you want, and that's not what you need. My goal for you is to actually figure out what type of work you want to do, not so much what type of job title you're looking for. And trust me, I know how right now you may feel just as lost as you did when you were in law school. I've been there. But you have so much more than you did when you were in law school. Now you have your experience, you have perspective, and you have the luxury of hindsight, where you can look back and see what you did and didn't like about the type of work you have done so far and why, and most importantly, what you want to do going forward. So tell me, I'm curious, what are you going to do with your JD? And if you need a little help answering that question, I have just the thing for you. I created a free masterclass for lawyers, and it's called 3 Simple Strategies for Uncovering Any Lawyer's Transferable Skills. And in that masterclass, I take you through some of the exercises that I actually use with my one-on-one clients and the students that I have in my course that help them to figure out what they want to do with their law degree.